used to be with it. Then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it, and what's it seems weird and scary to me. It'll happen to you.
Well, hello and welcome to another installment of the What I'm With podcast. What you're with isn't it. You used to be with it, but then they changed what it was.
And now what it is scary and confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll happen to you.
Age.
Yeah. Heck of a thing.
Yeah.
So that's actually a perfect segue.
Well, hold on.
Oh.
Who are you?
Oh, they already know by now. I'm Dave, and you're some dude that I found on that weird, Find My Fake Twin website. Have you seen that thing? Where,
Yeah, we were looking for identical hand twins.
Yeah.
And we just ended up finding
It was really, really bizarre.
But I'm glad to see that you got the same email from HR that I did about the uniform.
Yes. So, mandatory black shirt, blue jeans.
Black sneakers.
You're supposed to wear a shoe brand that starts with B.
Oh, well, mine starts with N. But I think there's a B in they're
in the second word.
in the second word. So close enough.
That's close.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you get to the point in life where you stopped getting shoes based on how they look and started getting them on how they make your back feel?
100%. And actually, I switched to New Balance to try something different because I'd been doing Adidas for so long.
Oh, okay.
And what I do typically, my last pair of shoes becomes my outside work shoes, and the cycle continues. I go back to my Adidas and they were way more comfortable. So I think I'm switching back.
So, my childhood best friend, Matt the Legend, his mother, Abby, is a physical therapist, among many other things, and she famously said that the foot is the root of the body.
Huh.
And if you take care of your feet, your body... Now, this is old man advice. If you are having aches and pains anywhere above your feet, check your shoes, yo. Because doesn't care, or no one cares how your shoes look, but everyone's tired of you complaining about your back.
Check your shoes, yo.
Yo. Yeah. Check them.
You.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
Right? You. Yes, you.
Yeah. Yeah, you with
Check
your
them.
Converse Chucks.
Dude,
no arch
okay.
support.
I bought a pair of Chucks once. This is actually while the show Chuck was popular.
Oh, that's a great show.
And I was like, okay, those Chucks are so cool. Chuck is so cool. I want a pair of Chucks. I never had Chucks.
Yeah, never.
I'm saying Chucks a lot.
Yeah.
Got the Chucks, put on the Chucks, wore them for a day at work, and was dying.
Yeah,
they're
there's
flat.
No, they're not shoes.
No,
they're
a piece of
rubber soled
canvas.
socks.
Yeah, and yes, what you just said. I ended up giving them away to someone because
I was never hip enough to own Chucks when my body could have handled it.
Yeah. Fortunately, the hip thing that my body could handle, and probably still could now, is Airwalks.
Airwalks actually had some support. Vans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but Converse and I did. Well, they did make some non-Chuck, like the One Star line. I think had some skatery shoes. I remember having some of those, but
that flat-ish looking shoe.
Yeah, it almost looked like the
Yeah.
Adidas shell top, but a little different.
So this is our shoe episode.
Apparently, that's not what I had prepared in the notes, but we got on the shoe topic because Tim broke uniform.
And here, so you're welcome for the free advice. But again, not a medical doctor.
I mean, my medical license is in Portugal, so
okay.
it doesn't. I'm not sure if it transfers over here down South America way.
Yeah.
So, why the what I'm with isn't it clip from The Simpsons is very apropos today. Is we're going to be talking about music.
Oh yeah. I like music.
Now, we coming from the 80s and 90s actually lived in kind of a real golden era of new genres, of just kind of experimentation with subgenres, and just an awesome time for most of the rock subgenres.
Yeah, technology had caught up to the point where you could do a lot more things.
You definitely could. And markets were just kind of more open to more unique sounds.
Yeah.
So, let's get started.
Let's do it.
All
I'm
right.
excited.
So here is what I want from you right now.
Okay, here it comes.
No planning.
All right.
Name me 10 pop punk bands.
Punk or pop punk?
Which would be easier for you?
Let's just call it let's get rid of the subgenres. We'll just call it punk in general.
Punk in general. Okay.
Got The Clash, my personal favorite.
Okay.
MXPX.
Sure.
The Christian
punk band.
Legends.
Yeah.
You got-
Magnified Plaid is what that stood for.
Correct.
Yeah.
Then you got Newfound Glory.
Sure.
Goaty Hook.
Yeah.
Cool bit. Cool guys. Cool
Yeah.
band. Oh man. Blink 182.
Yeah.
You got Green Day.
Yeah.
I should not be struggling as much as I am right now. There are others that I know. I'm just trying to think of ones that I
The-
really
well,
listen to,
yeah.
but I know there's no effects.
Yeah.
There's the Starting Line, which I actually really like,
Yeah.
pop punk.
Yeah.
Got 2 more to go here.
Yeah.
I think Dead Kennedys were one,
Yeah.
and then Bad Religion, another.
Yeah. Oh, I
band,
loved
yeah.
Bad Religion. Okay. Good job. Good.
I did it.
Accolades for Tim.
It
You
took
did it.
too
You did it.
long. My
10 metal bands. Go.
10 metal bands. Okay. Metallica, Pantera, Megadeth. Oh Sleeper. Gosh, this should.
You
put me
are
on the-
embarrassing me.
I know you put me on the spot, and I'm
We're
failing miserably.
related. I have
No,
to be seen with
okay,
you.
Embodiments. Extol. What was that? Cradle of Filth. Oof. I'm struggling. Bro.
You have skipped one of the ones from our youth that is super popular for the dudes we grew up with. They famously came back with their first record in like a decade on Tooth and Nail. Reborn in power.
Oh my gosh, Living Sacrifice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, I told you I'm struggling.
Yeah,
Like,
this is a.
again.
This is not. I was going to. These are the 2 softballs before I surprise you with the difficult one. So
Oh, gosh.
we'll say that 8's close enough to 10.
Okay. I mean,
All right.
they're in there. Oh, Wolves at the Gate, Fit for a King.
Okay, there you go. Sweet, we got to 10. Name 10 ska bands.
The Slackers. 5 Iron Frenzy. The OC Supertones. What was that one band called? So my wife is the big ska fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked ska, but I was never like ska.
Right.
I didn't skank
Right.
the little dance.
The
that they did.
the happy dance that they did.
It's like the Boston something or other. Boss Tones.
Boss Tones.
The mighty Boss Tones.
Yeah.
I was like, is it Boston?
No.
Boston, the town.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
4.
4. Goldfinger.
Yeah,
That's a ska band. They do the ska.
they do.
That's all I got, man.
So I did the same exercise before coming here.
Okay.
Because I was like, okay, and that brings us to the name of the episode. What happened to ska?
Oh.
So, punk stuck around, metal stuck around, hardcore stuck around,
Yeah.
all the various subgenres, emo stuck around, but like ska was this authentic 90s, a little late 80s, but mostly like early to mid 90s, just moment in time
Yeah.
where you just made upbeat punkish music with horns.
Yeah. Reggae influence.
Reggae influenced. So I got 8.
Okay.
I got the Mighty Boss Tones. I got 5 Iron Frenzy, the OC Supertones. I did not get Goldfinger or the Slackers.
Okay.
But they were on my list of things that I remembered when I Googled ska bands. It's like, oh yeah, I remember them. So the ones that you did not mention that I had, I don't know which ones of these you were ever into. Operation Ivy.
Operation Ivy.
They
Oh
were
my gosh.
Huge.
Wow.
Absolutely
Yes.
huge.
Yes.
The Specials.
The
Also,
Specials.
absolutely. That I know your wife was really into that one.
If we walk over there,
There's
CD
posters
cases.
and stuff, I'm sure. Like I
Not
remember
posters, but there are CD.
I remember she was really into the
Got a
Specials when
few
we were in our
of them.
20s.
Yeah.
Insiders. That was the
Yes.
third of the Christian ska bands,
Yes.
besides 5 Iron and Supertones. Metro Styley,
Metro style.
the female fronted, and then
only knew them because John. Had
John
them set.
John had them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our friend John. Hi, John.
Hey, buddy. And then Cherry Poppin' Daddies,
Ah, yes.
which they arguably they were on that big band
Yeah.
like cusp. The other ones that came to mind.
Squirrel Nut Zipper.
Oh, that's one I did
Dude,
not think of.
let's
Squirrel Nut
go.
Zipper. All right, look at you coming up to 5.
Moving on up.
So, the ones that I saw on my Googling that I was like, oh, I remember them. Real
Wait a
Big
minute.
Fish.
Real big fish. Squirrel Nut Zipper might be more big band.
They might also be, they might be there with Cherry Pop and Daddies.
I'm already kind of feeling a little embarrassed for self-congratulation just a few seconds ago.
We'll either congratulate or shame you in place of Mario.
Oh, okay. So he'll get killed by the Goomba, and then I'm shamed.
Yeah, that's it. You said Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Toots and the Maytals.
Okay, that's a band I know.
And then this was the one that I was embarrassed to have forgotten because I played them in my car all the time in like 99 and 2000. Pilfers.
I remember the name.
Yeah, and they were probably the most reggae leaning of the ska bands that I was into.
Okay.
So, yeah, what do you think happened to ska?
I mean, I will say, remembering the scene from back in the day, that ska was suddenly everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere.
And so my first thought when you asked that question is burnout. Maybe there was just
too much all the time.
Because it was, to be in a punk band, you don't need a lot of musical talent. And this is not a knock. It's
you can go far with a little.
Yeah. You can do 3-chord progressions.
I joined a pop punk band when I was in between bands as a bass player. I learned the entire set list in one practice, and I played a show that weekend. And I was never a good bass player.
So
it's not hard.
Right. So point proven there. And so in my mind, ska is a little more. There's a little more musicality, a little more instrumentation,
and it does give all the band geeks something to do.
It does,
because there wasn't really much place for your buddy who played the saxophone to be cool.
And you could pull off a ska sound without horns. It's not as good.
No, it's not. You definitely want that horn section.
It's doable, but I guess what I'm getting at is it could be like a step up from punk without having to go full prog rock or something and be super guitar master.
Yeah.
But you can do something a little bit more. So maybe it satisfies I don't want to say ego, but essentially the ego of playing a little more complex music, but not so complex that it's unachievable. So step up from punk.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. I just kind of where my head was at was like maybe it was just too happy.
Oh,
like like pop punk, while still upbeat and happy, there's some real dark pop punk songs. Like if you get into like some of the stuff that like Saves the Day, like I love Saves the Day.
Yeah.
You read that boy's lyrics and you want to put him in therapy.
You do.
He needs help.
Yeah.
I don't know if he still needs help.
He does.
Get help. Get help. Like I'll give you a hug, man. Like I'm not much of a hugger, but I'll give you a hug if you need
free. Hugs.
Yeah,
free.
They cost nothing.
Yeah.
And famously, dudes our size have a lot of hug to give.
True story.
So,
I think his name's Chris. The
yes,
Saves the Day
Chris
guy.
Something. Yeah. He uses his own name in some of the lyrics of the song, so that's how I remember his name.
Oh, okay. I just had that in my head. And
yeah.
I was like,
there's also a Dave because then I said just go please Dave.
Well, there
just
was,
drive.
but I know like they've had a lot of turnover. But he's the one.
Chris is the front
he's
man.
The singer songwriter front man.
Yeah. But yeah, like I can't think of any ska song that was particularly dark.
Yeah, I mean, even if it was like a moodier song, it's still it's finger popping.
Yeah,
music. You're
right.
bopping your head.
Yeah.
And to your point, I was thinking when Goaty Hook. So they're a Tooth and Nail band, one of the original Tooth and Nail bands back from the 90s. And Tooth and Nail would release cassettes of music videos to, it's music videos. This is the MTV era.
Yeah.
But they're a small label. So this is how we get the videos out to the fans.
Yeah.
So you'd buy your tape. So I remember the guy Brandon
or Brandon from Tooth and Nail, the main guy.
The main guy. He desperately wanted them to do from their cover album "Walking on Sunshine,"
right?
And they did not want to do it,
right? So they just
they did the
grumpy
song.
faced the whole thing.
Yeah, so
didn't start with Adam just like chewing on food or something
like that, and so it's like I'm walking on sunshine, but
they're just like,
and it was so funny. One of
Yeah.
the best videos Tooth and Nail ever made, and it was a Spite.
Yes. Turns out Spite is a really good creative fuel.
Who would have known?
Yeah. Actually, speaking of Goaty Hook, I got last year to see them on their reunion tour.
Nice.
Which is a lot of fun. They're a couple years older than us, and they brought energy. If you guys have never listened to or seen Goaty Hook, you do yourselves a favor. They're solid.
Yeah, they're really, really good. We'll probably talk about them a lot because we grew up in the area. We actually know them.
Yeah, they were like friends of cousins of friends of our.
Yeah.
We were one or two steps removed in our late teens, early 20s. I got to know them a little better in my late 20s, early 30s.
But we all grew up in the greater DC area.
Yeah, we had a lot of overlap. We played a lot of shows with them in our various bands. They were kind of like the biggest local band, so we got to open for them with different bands that we were
just
in.
solid dudes. Like
Oh
really
yeah,
good
a
guys.
lot, and just really funny guys too.
Yeah,
Like really
yeah.
good sense of humor.
Oh yeah.
And they still nailed it. When I saw them a couple months ago, bands like to do an encore at the end of a big show, and so they were playing in their hometown at their home venue, and the bass player Jamie was just like, we're not gonna treat you like you're idiots and walk off stage and wait for you to shout one more song, then walk back on and play two more. No. We're gonna turn our backs. You're gonna shout one more song, and then we're gonna play three more. True to his word.
Wow.
They all turned around. We all shout one more song. They turn around. They play three more songs.
That's
It
awesome.
was a ton of fun.
Shout out Jamie.
Yeah, good guy.
Awesome.
So yeah, I don't really have anything else prepared. I just kind of was sitting down, had a brainwave that ska was like everywhere.
It really was.
Like I would say it was probably around 95, 96 maybe, that it was just, you couldn't go anywhere without ska being like in a TV show, a movie. There was a ska band in every show.
Yeah. So in the Christian music scene, which we were really into at that time, there were two big festivals. There was Cornerstone,
Which I have gone to twice.
I've never been.
Yeah.
And then there was, I think, was it Creation? Was that the one that
Well,
was
so
in
Creation was the more CCM one.
What was the one that was up in
Purple Door was the other one.
Purple Door.
Yeah.
So I remember the Supertones being at Purple Door, and that was the thing.
So they were. I actually, it's funny. I was while going over this list with my wife. I was not supposed to go to Cornerstone 1999. I was 17, and my dad set an impossibly high standard in order for me to go, and I met it. And he was trapped because I did all the things I was supposed to do, and I took my own car from the DC area to Macomb, Illinois, or I think that's the nearest town. It might not be Macomb itself. Anyway, so a 17-hour drive, something like that.
Chicagoland area.
Yeah, I mean, Great Lakes, Plain, like it was
Yeah.
middle of nowhere. Furthest I'd ever gone away from home ever, and I was there without a parent. But I met the criteria of having responsible adults, what passed for them at the time.
Phil.
Yeah. So I got press passes because he didn't own a car, but he had an underground Christian metal magazine.
Yes.
And I got to come in as a member of his press team because I drove him. So having the press pass got me backstage. And again, 17. I'm in the middle of nowhere. This is before cell phones. I'm just out there. And I am the best thing since sliced bread because I have a press pass. I'm 17. All my favorite bands are playing a show. And I have unlimited backstage access to everyone. So on the day of the Supertones playing, their stage, it's typical like collapsible kind of thing. And it had a staircase attached to it. And the staircase was, I don't know, 5-6 feet wide. It was a pretty significant staircase. And I sat down on one end of it to sit down because...
Yeah, you're in a field.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to sit.
Right. I'm under a tent. There's shade. There's a thing that I could sit on. I haven't sat for hours. So I sit down. There's several feet to the other side of me. And the lead singer of the OC Supertones looks down at me and goes, "Move." Like, doesn't treat me like a human. Just tells the insecure 17-year-old kid who's not in his way at all to move.
Wow. Someone's a little full of themselves.
I mean, maybe he's a super nice dude. Maybe he had just gotten dumped 5 minutes ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just when you only have one interaction with a person and it's that in your head that, like, wow, that was kind of a jerk
If you're a
move.
person of any type of notoriety, don't be that guy.
Yeah,
Like,
especially
even
not
if
to a
you're-
kid.
Yeah,
like,
if you're having a bad day, just,
yeah.
just be quiet.
Or just, if I was actually going to be in the way of the guys behind you or something that I don't see coming, maybe like, "Hey, dude, can you move? We got some guys moving gear." Like,
Yeah.
"Hey, dude, can you move?" is a lot better than "move."
Yeah.
So yeah, that's in my head who the OC Supertones are.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of adds up. I have no confirmed anything anywhere. It was just a general feeling among people that they were a little stuck up.
Well, I mean, they were from Orange County.
Orange County,
I mean, it's a
yeah,
pretty wealthy area.
It's
and
wealthy, and they were the tooth and nail draw at the time. I think they got so big they got off the label.
They did. I mean, a few people did. I think MXPX beat them to that, but yeah.
Like onto a major one like Atlantic or MC.
So I guess the lesson there is you can make happy music and still be a jerk.
Yeah, that's very true.
And, maybe you're a super cool dude if you're watching. I don't know. It was just a weird interaction to have.
I have been a jerk to people.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But overall, I consider myself a slightly above average happy person, but not a happy person. Just like you got your happy people, you got your miserable people, and I'm kind of mid, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not full Costanza.
No.
Yeah. But you have your Costanza moments. We all do.
We all do. Most of mine involve driving. I don't understand a lot of things about the way people drive.
I love all the things about the way you think about people driving because we have similar wiring.
Just my fantasy. If I'm stuck behind someone who's doing what I feel is something inappropriate, whether it's driving too slow or zigzagging too much or tailgating too much, whatever, is to just be able to gently pull them over, reach in and take their key and throw it into the field and point at them and say no, and then just get back in my car.
You don't get to.
Yeah, you got to go find your key now.
Yeah.
Good luck. That's all I want. I don't want to hit anybody. I don't want to cuss at anybody. I just want to throw their keys into a field and just walk away.
Yeah.
That's my fantasy. That's if I could do nothing else with this life, I want to do that one time with zero consequence. That's
zero consequences. No one's allowed to shoot you or hit you or
film me and put it on the internet and then look at this guy. Who's he thinking?
That Joker over there. Yeah.
So yeah, we all have the capacity to have a bad day.
We do. So that is us extending grace to a stranger who was rude to me once, who was quasi famous in the 90s.
So whatever your name is, because you're not that famous.
You're not important enough to remember.
Absolve you.
Aren't we merciful?
We are. Oh.
The
crowd goes wild, and then they
stab a guy. That's a good
Gladiator.
That's a good movie. Yeah, Ridley Scott.
Yeah. Ridley Scott.
Stop. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
New genre right there. Let's get on your GarageBand machine and make some Ridley Scott.
Make some Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
Epic score with all the upbeat.
Yeah. I don't think that would match his movies.
No. Challenge not accepted because I'm not that musically talented.
Fair enough. Yeah. We all limp by in life.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
do some stuff, just not a lot.
I could never skank. Could you ever skank?
I definitely can't now.
No.
But no, I don't think I ever tried. I guess I felt, and this is, it was more for the ladies.
That or the profoundly skinny.
Yeah, that's probably what we've fluctuated throughout our lives.
Yeah.
During that time, I would say we were probably both at our thinnest, roughly. Maybe it was a little later after that.
It's hard to say.
But so
if you're fat once, you're always fat in your memories. Like,
you see photos of yourself.
And you're like, wow, that dude was a twig.
Oh gosh, how did I lose all that weight?
Yeah.
Anyway, so we probably could have pulled it off, but I don't dance in general. And,
no, I didn't even have dancing at my wedding.
Yeah.
Like I danced with my daughter at a wedding that we attended, and that's the only time in recent memory I've danced.
Yeah. So when our friends got married, Lena and I danced. My wife and we danced. That's I think the only time I can remember dancing, and they were playing like a salsa type music.
Oh, nice. Did you?
And I just went for it.
Did you bite your lip?
But of course. Okay. But this, so they had an open bar. So I was.
So you had lots of tea.
Lots of tea, feeling loose, feeling happy. I was like, and the band guys were looking at me and in my mind, smiling.
They're like, yeah, buddy.
In reality, laughing because I probably look like a fool. But I had a great time, and I've never done it again.
Was this wedding videotaped?
Probably.
I gotta have some phone calls to make.
We'll talk about who it was afterwards. So I'll let you know. See if you can find it. But yeah,
that's useful for the channel.
Yeah, but have never said. Well, yeah, you could for things that. Embarrassing things from weddings that you can get of me. That picture of me blowing bubbles.
I still have that.
I have it too.
It's right there.
Oof. I've used it as a profile picture once, and so I put it in my company where there are about 15 of us, and we have a group me. I made it my profile picture, and a guy who I had recently met at the time. He's like, "Oh, look at that! We all have these profiles, and look, Tim just has a profile of his kid at a wedding." Like, yeah, it's
Oh, it's great.
bad.
Yeah. Again, it's right here.
So here on set, it's not.
Yeah.
But I know
No,
what video it is,
but-
and I feel the color
Yeah.
entering my face.
That'll be
hey,
great.
it was a good time, all right?
So, of things that bring joy to millions, there's ska,
Yeah.
and if this channel blows up, that photo.
Oh, yeah.
So
Great. Make the memes, internet.
Yeah,
I'm
have
here
fun.
for it.
Yeah, we're all just having fun here. Well, on that note, I don't have anything more to say about ska.
No.
I'd welcome its return just because we could all use a little cheerfulness.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll do a follow-up.
You know what we should do before we leave?
Oh.
There's this thing beneath us, and in it we could put some recommendations and links. So if you've not listened to ska, I'm gonna give 3 albums.
Okay.
Or bands, because I don't
Okay.
think I could rattle off the albums.
Sure.
But why don't you give 3 as well? I will do my 3 as Five Iron Frenzy, the album with the blue.
The bluish one. That was my
yeah.
first one, too.
Crap.
Yeah.
All right, Metro Styley. I don't know if they had more than one. And Pilfer's Chihuahua Lang.
I know I see the album
Chihuahua
cover and
Lang.
everything.
Yeah. So there'll be links. Go check them out. Let us know what you think about them.
Yeah, I would just add to that the Goldfinger album, the one with the guy on the cover, he's cartoony.
Yeah,
whichever one that
yeah,
is.
I know which one you're talking about.
That's a good one. And even though we actually gave him a lot of crap in this episode, the Supertones
were actually
legitimately good. What was the one? It was what did they call
Strike
it?
Back?
Maybe. They were such a flash in the pan, but it was a brilliant, bold flash.
Yeah, they were very big in our lives for like 3 years.
Yeah,
But
give them a listen. Look them up.
and even though we've already done 3 each, you have to do Operation Ivy.
Okay, yeah.
You
'cause
you
the
have
one
to
I
check them
forgot
out. Yeah,
And just forgot again.
yeah. Like you used to be able to like mail order like their T-shirts and stuff because they were like just obscure. Like you couldn't find them. They were one of those things that was really hard to find.
Yeah. Yeah, so hey, while you're down there looking at those, also like
us.
subscribe, share with your friends, say hi to us in the comments.
Yeah,
one of us will reply. If it's nice, it'll be me. If it's mean, it'll be him.
Oh yeah, and our yeah.
Check out our website.
Our
We have a
web
website.
zone, all of our social medias. We're old men and we don't really like social media, so if you try to reach out to us on like our Facebook or whatever, we're not going to reply quickly because we don't have it on our phones because it's kind of not our thing.
Yeah.
So we'll have to get on a computer and then see all of it. So just don't expect a quick turnaround from old men.
Yeah, but yeah, here, YouTube,
Yeah.
that's the place. Do the thing. We'll do the thing, and we'll all be friends together. Sound good?
Sounds good. I forgot to do this at the beginning of the episode. Oh, wait, that's going to make a weird cut. Hey, I forgot to do this at the beginning of the episode.